Oregon State 6 of 10 from downtown in the first half. Dexter Akano knocking down a couple. Again, a tremendous last couple of games. And if you're USC, you saw right there, playing that zone, you can't leave those three-point shooters open.
No, you can't, and that's why, again, I would say you man-to-man face guard them almost and stay behind the bigs and make the ball come inside. But hats off to Oregon State. They did not shoot the three-ball well last year. They started out this year one of the worst three-point shooting teams. They've seemed to got some things figured out. And that can come with confidence and practice, the repetition of shooting the ball again and again and again. But I tell you what, tonight, they're lights out from the three. What a difference-looking team they are right now.
Yeah, shooting over 40% from downtown as a team over the last couple of games. And look, I know we harped on it already. We just talked about it at the break. The big key for both teams, especially USC, don't turn the dang ball over.
Exactly.
Bilodeau slashing inside, too strong off the window. Bodies hitting the deck. Rodman able to shuffle it in a foul. And we'll see if USC can kind of replicate that second half down in Eugene where, again, through the first 20 minutes, 10 turnovers, but only 3 in the second half to claw their way back against Oregon.
I'm going to make a prediction. If there's one of these two teams that can only have anywhere between 2 to 5 turnovers this half, they're going to win the game. Because there's scoring opportunities out on the floor. For both of them, unfortunately, you're giving up great scoring opportunities by turning the ball over so much. Oregon State sits in that zone now. This is more of a matchup zone. Now you can see the man in their area. It looks almost like man-to-man when they catch it because you match up with the guy in your area when he catches the ball.
Down to 3, Kobe Johnson. Collier, desperation, he didn't get off in time. Well, there you go. Another turnover to start the second half.
They got 4 more to go, so the team that keeps it under 5.
And you just see the frustration on the look of Andy Enfield.
It takes coaching out of it. It takes the ball out of your hands from being able to coach and teach when you turn it over so much. It does become very frustrating.
I'm thinking back to your coaching days, and if your team turned it over this much, I can't imagine how crazy you'd be going on the sideline right now.
You'd be going crazy, but I think the thing to do also is maybe put them in positions that the right guys are handling the ball, and maybe you run a little set play knowing he's going to come off and shoot it versus coming out have to make a read.
Foul on the rebound. Go the other way. Iwuchukwu call for the personal.
Well, he's a big, strong young man, and that time when you get in a tangle up with him, bodies are going to fly, and usually it's the other body.
Perfect from the floor right now, Dexter Akano with 8 points so far. And this backcourt for Oregon State has been stellar over the last couple of games. Pope dancing step back right in the face of DJ Rodman.
And that's what I'm talking about right there. Put the ball in the hands of the guy that's making plays and can score. And maybe it's not so much of making that extra pass one more as it is creating your shot.
I think Jordan Pope is one of the best at doing that.
And USC is having problems with this matchup zone. That's a travel.
Yeah.
That's a travel.
Yeah, took too many steps.
He ran into the shot as opposed to dribbling into the shot because he was anxious to get it. I mean, here you see him one-on-one being able to create up and over the top of the defender. They may need more of that, and then now you get an opportunity to run into the shot versus putting it on the floor, one more dribble and dribbling into the jump stop and shooting the shot up. Matchup zone, you'll see it again, where they match up with the guy in their area. It almost looks like man-to-man. You're running your zone offense. They're playing you in a matchup man-to-man zone. And you need to be able to recognize that. And again, they're just switching everything and covering the guy in their area, making it very difficult for SC to get a wide open look.
Now we flew into the second deck here at Gill Coliseum. Kick ball. And Bronny James, by the way, quickly back on the floor for the Trojans.
Well, he's one of the, again, when I say skilled players that knows how to play, can see a play, make a play.
Off the inbound for 3. And bouncing off the heel. Akano creates space and drills another triple. Dexter Akano, have yourself a couple games now. 4 for 4 from the floor.
That's one way to not turn it over, just dribble it down and pull it up and shoot it.
Too high, intended for Iwuchukwu.
You know, when you look at an opportunity to guards, you got both guards now are kind of taking over the game with just their one-on-one ability to create shots for themselves. The other end of the floor, we had Collier throwing away another turnover on the lob.
Yeah, 7'1", Iwuchukwu just not able to get a handle on that. Largest lead of the night, 14 for Oregon State. Pope, shake and bake, regains possession and able to throw it up and in.
Wayne was talking about he got fouled. Well, he did, but he didn't have the ball.
Timeout USC as Oregon State explodes with 7 unanswered out of the locker room.
You know, when you talk about the ability to create, and Oregon State's got 2 great cards, Akano and Jordan Pope, and he's one of the best. He lets go of the ball, loses it in his dribble, regains it, and finishes. Beavers on top big.
Beautiful night here in the Willamette Valley and Gill Coliseum, and Oregon State rolling out of the gates here in the second half, 46-30 over USC. Dexter Kano, Jordan Pope, we kind of talked about in the open and how much this backcourt for Oregon State has been exploding as of late.
Well, they certainly have, and I think the fact that they're shooting the ball so much better is giving them even more confidence. They're going to junk it up a little bit more defensively and everything else. And boy, when you can get a rhythm in a game where you're creating turnovers and you're knocking down threes, well, that's a great place to be.
Yeah, 7 of 11 from downtown for Oregon State in this game.
And again, they're back in that match-up zone. They match up man-to-man when the ball's in your area. USC might be better just running their man offense against them because they are really struggling right now to run offense.
Here's Akano off the turnover, throwing it up, and that's his first miss of the night. But USC can't handle it, stays with the Beavers.
That was a really tough shot by Akano that almost went in. I mean, how about a tough matchup Pope is for anybody? And Bigelow, now they got a chance to go inside and work the bigs a little bit more.
As Bigelow will get himself to the line.
We saw Coach Tinkle in practice today. Remember, I was talking to you about the teaching that goes on. Here's Bigelow inside with the dribble, drop step, and up and over top with the jump hook and gets the foul. Excellent free throw shooter, but you know, just watching him work with his guys today, their energy was outstanding. They know to let a game get away from them with UCLA, because I thought, again, Bono got rolling on them in the second half, and they had no answers for him down the stretch of that UCLA game. But they've come back focused. They've locked in. Yes, they've had their turnovers. They've settled theirs down, but their guard play has really stepped up to another level.
Well, again, with such a young team, I mean, Wayne Tinkle has said it before. He's confident that this young team is going to be able to build this thing to last, because you have a bunch of players, they're building it from the ground up, and you see the continued growth out of these sophomores who are the backbone of this Oregon State program. Kobe Johnson hangs. Fight for the rebound, controlled by Michael Ratai. Pope takes the bump from Boogie Ellis. Timeout on the floor. 17-point lead for Oregon State here in Corvallis. Time now for tonight's Liberty Mutual Insurance Most Needed Play. Just a couple minutes ago, Dexter Akano feeling it from downtown, his 3rd triple of the ball game.
And sometimes when you start to feel it, you just keep letting it flow, and he certainly has done that. He's going to shoot the lights out, and a much needed play is the 3-point shot for Oregon State, and they certainly are delivering this evening.
And again, he and Jordan Pope talking about it at the beginning of this broadcast. 14 for Pope, 11 for Dexter Akano, because we hyped so much about Boogie Ellis and Isaiah Collier in that backcourt for USC, regarded as one of the best in all of college basketball. But you got a pretty good pairing right here in Corvallis for Wayne Tinkle.
Well, we talked about both these teams had 4 probably the best guards in the country in terms of their guard tandems, and I just love the way that they accepted the challenge. And when you want to be a good 3-point shooting team, let your good three-pointer shooters shoot the ball and give them the opportunity to get shots, and not somebody who should not be shooting it. And in this game right now, those two guys are just lighting it up. And I love the fact they got a tremendous ability to create their shot.
And offensively for Akano, as Ratai will try a high arcing three. That one way short. Bilodeau, the offensive rebound, had it swatted away by Joshua Morgan. Morgan, of course, leading the Pac-12 at 2.5 blocks per game. A big presence down low as Marial gets called for the foul.
Collier is an outstanding player, but again, coming from a high school level up to this level where teams are scouting the intensity, possession by possession on defense, guys are locked in. You just got to be a little bit more careful in taking care of the ball and making decision-making more exact.
Trying to find his way inside the kick out. Bronny James for three. Leaves it short, and Marial gets the board.
What a battle here between Pope and Boogie Ellis.
Meanwhile, Bilodeau and Joshua Morgan battling down low. That's his third. And Bilodeau, we've heard so much about Pope and Akano. Bilodeau's had a solid night with 12 points.
I tell you, he's a really good big. Pope buries another three from the corner. Let your three-point shooters shoot. That's the key thing with having a good shooting percentage. Have the right guy shooting the ball, and my goodness, those between him and Akano, they can really fill it up.
3 of 6 from three-point land now for Jordan Pope, and that'll be a goaltend.
From a simple out-of-bounds play, getting to the corner, tremendous footwork. Watch Pope how he gets to the play, sets his feet quickly, lets it fly. Boom, on balance. And the good thing to a good three-point shooter is your balance, a balance and follow-through, and that was done to perfection.
Perfect stroke. Akano dumping it off down low, as it will stay with OSU. And now they'll give it back to the Trojans. So I ask you this, outside of obviously not turning the ball over, if you're USC, how do you claw your way back into this one? Because I know we've heard so much on those turnovers.
You know, I think the biggest thing again is how to guard the three-point shooters. And you've got two guys that are really hot right now. You've got to sit on them everywhere they go. And you don't have to worry about weak side help or anything else. Just sit on those three-point shooters. Make Oregon State's bigs handle the pressure of scoring the ball a little bit more. Right now, these guards are just kind of freewheeling all over the place. Their looks are open looks that they're getting, even though a couple have been on step backs. But sit on those guards, almost like what I call junior high school defense, where you see the kids following their play around all over the floor. It looks like that. And Lute Olson was great at this. Mike Montgomery was great at this. And what they do, they took your strength away and make you play to your weakness. And in this case, Oregon State's guards are their strength. And you got to sit on them, maybe even double team to make them give it up, and make their bigs take the shots.
Christian Wright trapped.
Did not need to foul him. Well, you had him pinned in on the half-court line. It couldn't go anywhere. Unfortunately, had to reach at the last minute because he had an excellent opportunity for that to be a turnover.
That one on Bronny James. Yeah, because you saw Wright. I mean, he had nowhere to go there.
Nowhere. They did a great job, great trap. Three-point line was their other third defender in there, and they let him off. I don't like the fact that they're in that zone because the rotations aren't as good, and they give an opportunity again for three-point shooters to shoot.
Here goes James, look out, flying through the lane, and didn't matter. Joel Marial at 7'2", Bronny James, I'm going to soar right to the rack.
Now that looked like his dad. Yeah. from this angle. Now see if the zone is a shot coming over pressure. or they're going to overload the zone and give them one of those great shooters a chance to get a nice look. And of course, O'Connell's out of the game right now.
There we go. Bronny James pushing it again, 4-on-1. Boogie Ellis, transition three, knocks it down. Boogie Ellis from downtown, and it's cut to an 11-point game. Timeout, Oregon State.
And this is what young players have to understand. Everybody wants to play and be on the floor. You got a team on the ropes. You run them. You make a substitution, and you come into the game, and 2 times in a row now, you turn the ball over, give it up, and all of a sudden, boom, boom. There's the momentum of the game is gone from you and goes back to USC.
And they're rolling with a 9-0 run. 3 turnovers for Oregon State. And again, just hanging in the air, Bronny James.
Well, look at him from this backside. You could just see, I was wondering where he was going for a minute there, and what a great finish.
For a split second, I thought we were going to get a possibility of a poster there.
Now for USC, they've, a couple good possessions. Now you got to build off of it. Let's get another stop and another run out. Another stop and another run out. For Oregon State, they may want to sub to get that group back on the floor that was in a tremendous rhythm. Coach Tinko talked about he needed to go to the bench more. He wants to go to the bench more, but if you're a player on that bench, you've got to be locked and loaded in. When you get on that floor, the momentum of the game cannot change due to your substitution. The same energy has to be there, same productivity has to be there, and you keep it rolling on.
And the big thing for USC, too, they've scored 7 points off of those 4 Oregon State turnovers. But you're right about Oregon State and their bench guys. Wayne Tinkle saying we need to give our bench guys confidence that they can play and produce.
Yeah, but let's talk about that. As a player, it isn't always coach giving you confidence. You got to give me confidence to give you confidence. In other words, what I'm trying to say is you got to understand what we're doing. You got to show you can handle the pressure. You got to show you can handle the moment, and that gives me more confidence to give you more.
Boy, Bilodeau's had the nice touch tonight with that baseline jumper.
Great example of Bilodeau right there. Look where he was last year. He came on, he could score, he was smart, he played hard. He's going to have a great year this year. But he's bought in and on the same page with the staff and getting opportunities. He's going to score and play hard.
James trying to go past Pope. The pull-up, no good. Beckway clears.
I like the play, though, by James. Look, he got into the lane and got off a good shot.
Pope dancing again. The tie down low to a Beckway. The kick out.
I don't understand it. I just don't. You would double down on Beckway and leave the best shooter in the gym wide open.
Yeah, because if you're USC, with how hot Pope has been shooting, you would rather have a Beckway just go one-on-one with your defender.
Tell him Beckway to shoot all the shots he wants, but you got to sit on Pope. Econo as he's in the game, and you got to sit on those guards. Are too good of shooters.
Foul before the inbound. Josiah Lake will come in.
Now, let's look at that score. 52-39, 12:25 to go, and you've got Pope out of the game and Econo out of the game. And let's see where this offense goes. Now, here's that chance where coach wants to give an opportunity for other guys to play as we get another foul on USC. Too much grabbing off of out-of-bounds plays.
This time, Kajani Wright.
And now they're giving up free throws.
Yep, foul number 7, so free throws for Tyler Bilodeau. Yeah, like you said, with Jordan Pope and Dexter Econo getting a little bit of a breather here with under 12.5 to play for USC.
Your guy's Bigelow.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 6 of 10 from the field now, 3 or 4 from the free throw line. He's got a good rhythm. He's playing with a lot of confidence. He's that guy that you want to make sure you give him the touches now and not just turn the ball over.
Kind of flipped the switch last year in that meeting with Oregon in December. Kind of started playing freely without worrying about making mistakes.
And sometimes, it takes players to go through some adversity to get to that point to where they say, okay, I got it, coach.
I'm going to reach in on Ratai.
Oregon State stays in that matchup zone because, again, USC really hasn't attacked it and figured it out. So they play man-to-man when the ball is in your area.
That one in and out.
It's a good-looking shot. Go inside the Bilodeau and missed them again.
For a second, looked like they were going to try that high-low action, but a Beckway bodies his way to the cup for an and-one opportunity.
And, you know, in a play like this, it was created because Bilodeau had a strong post-up. Then they took away the high-low with Morgan dropping back, which gives him Beckway an opportunity to put it on the floor and attack the basket. And I love the fact that he recognized that and went right to the hole to score.
A big body down low. 6-0 run by the Beavers, 56-39. Our MGM Rewards game notes and the three-point shooting outstanding for Oregon State, 8 of 14 from downtown. The turnovers still a problem for both teams, but Jordan Pope again terrific tonight with 17 points, 5 assists, and the hot shooting from downtown. And you know, Ernie, we talked about this throughout the day. I mean, this is a USC team that was picked to finish second in the Pac-12. So many expectations surrounding them with Collier and Bronny James as well as Boogie Ellis. But they just have not lived up to those expectations up to this point of the season.
Well, first of all, you never listen and understand what the media wants to pick you. I don't worry about all that. But this was a good team with firepower, star power, expectations. But now you got to come play. Now it becomes commitment. Do you understand the system? Do you understand life on the road in this conference? The competition, how intense it is, being able to play defense for a whole possession every single time down the floor. For young players that don't understand that, those are some big adjustments. They're just going through growing pains right now. And once they figure some things out, they're certainly talented enough, but they're not where those other two teams were at this time last year because those other two teams are deeper and more experienced.
And of course, the turnovers don't help as well. Josiah Lake draws the foul and will get 2 free throws.
And the turnovers are coming about again because, again, your familiarity with playing with teammates and running a system and seeing a play. And when you jump from high school to this level, it's completely a different energy, different competitiveness, and you got to be locked in. And then sometimes, you know, players can be locked in for half the possession. You got to have the ability to be locked in for the entire possession, and then possession by possession basketball up and down the floor. That's a mental capacity you have to have, and players don't just walk in the door with that.
Again, how does a team like USC, because again, like you said, they do have talent. There's no question they got talented players, but you know, as we start conference play, how do they turn it around?
I think they turn around again by they go through the experience of seeing it. I'm sure coaches are preaching and teaching what they need for them to do. You got to have buy-in. You got to see it again. And at some point in time, as an athlete on that floor, you got to get fed up with losing games and get after it and understand it. So they're talented enough, but the chemistry, the continuity of understanding the league, the level of play, systems and things like that, for some of these younger players, that's just not there yet. And it's going to take some time to get there.
A quiet night for Collier so far, only with 4 points, trying to get going. Boogie Ellis with 7, with a floater, gets it to drop.
Boogie's a guy to me that's got to really step up. He's a 5th-year senior, a little bit more leadership, a little bit more, what I'm going to say, control on the floor of taking over a game himself, because he has the ability to do that. Showed it the other night against Oregon in the second half, where we literally brought them back into the game.
You know, leading the way with 13 out for USC, the only Trojan in double figures. Akano hangs. And we'll go the other way as bodies once again hitting the floor. Now we'll go on Bilodeau. And Jordan Pope now back on the floor for Oregon State.
Oregon State has been in that zone the entire second half. They showed it at the end of the first half. USC didn't handle it well, and they just sit in that matchup zone, matching up with the guy in their area that's causing USC all kind of problems right now.
Pope off the fake. Bilodeau will fire for 3. And 3 free throws coming up as Vincent Iwuchukwu called for the foul.
There's another player, Uachukwu, that didn't get a lot of playing time because of his health concerns last year, obviously. And he's still a young player that's learning how to play at this level, footwork and everything. And now you're telling me I've got to step out and guard a guy on the perimeter as well, too? He's not used to things like that, and that's just going to take some time to understand. Of course, Bilodeau definitely knows how to do it, and all he did was give a great shot fake and got him up in the air and went through him. Now he's at the free throw line shooting 3.
Of course, going to get the shoe back on after having that come off after getting hit to the floor. Of course, comes from a very athletic family. His mom played in the WNBA. His dad a hockey player, and at one point, obviously Tyler played hockey, but at some point he said he became too tall for hockey. Started to love hoops when he kind of had a growth spurt from 6'4" his junior year.
I can understand that. To skate, you got to bend over a lot more, and you got to carry a longer stick around and find the puck and everything else. And he's a really good basketball player. He's got great IQ. When you talk about with his size and having the ability at 6'9" to shoot it on the perimeter, put it on the floor in the lane, flash into the middle of the lane, rebound the basketball. He does a lot of things really well. If he can stick with this and continue to grow his game, he has a chance to be playing at the next level because, again, he's got that body, he's got that IQ, and he's got the skill set.
Yeah, not really a traditional big man. Can play all over like we've seen so far. Right into the hands of Dexter Akano. Yeah, 20 turnovers now for USC, season high. Abekwe on the block. Goes to work.
Left hand.
With the left, count it and one. Casey Abekwe. You called it.
Well, I have coached a few years, only about 35 of them. But you knew he was coming with the left because he couldn't get it off. He had to come back and go with the left hand up and over. To his credit, he has a left hand. A lot of guys that don't have a strong left hand will still try to shoot that up with the right hand, and that's hard to do with the defender sitting on that right hand. That ball has to get into the left to go up and over. Nice move.
Abekwe, another guy who has shown flashes, especially this season. Played some crucial minutes in a couple non-conference games for Wayne Tinkle.
You can understand now why he was so excited about this team, this is the group, this sophomore group, that they stay together, stay with me, continue to let me coach them. They've got a chance because they've got size, they've got guard power, they can shoot it, they're deep.
Isaiah Sellers for 3.
They got great support here. When you get the students back and this building gets some more energy in it, this team comes to another level.
Akano coughs it up. Back to USC. Yeah, and talking about this young group for Oregon State, something that Wayne Tinkle has also said, they're kind of developing that grit that no matter what, they're going to pull it out because they played in a lot, and I mean a lot, of tight contests in non-conference play.
And people will talk about, well, those teams weren't the level of Pac-12 competition. This is true, but the situations are still the same. You still got to see the play and make the right decisions in those tough situations, going down to the wire, the overtime games, and then when you stretch up to a different level, you still have that mental ability to understand, stay calm, we can pull this out, even though you're dealing with a much better talent group you're playing against.
Off the 3 ball by Collier. Abekwe gets bumped on the entry pass. And more free throws for Abekwe. %52% at the foul line this season.
That's just putting time in. And again, I'm talking lunchtime, nighttime. Put the time in and get in the gym and want to shoot the ball and be a great free throw shooter. You can get there.
Second chance opportunity, no good by Wright. Pope, step back. Bilodeau almost got the offensive board.
Yeah, did a nice job of positioning and just didn't come up with the ball.
Sellers, quick trigger on the three. Under 8 to play here in the second. Oregon State with a 64-47 lead. Looking for their first Pac-12 win of the season as we get this Pac-12 slate underway. Beckway almost had it taken away. Pope knifing through the defenders all the way to the cup.
Talk about some quickness. My goodness.
So speedy, now with 19. Collier left open for three. And three ball not there for USC tonight. Now 6 of 19 from downtown. Pope back out to Akano. Off the pump.
Boy, these guards are battling, aren't they?
They are.
But this is a mismatch for Akano. I mean, both of these guys, even on the switch, he has some blow-by opportunities here.
And more free throws.
You know, there's a certain thing that players have that coaches don't coach and teach, and that's a feel. And here's a young man, Jordan Pope, has a tremendous feel for the game. That kind of speed to blow through underneath, dipsy-doodle, and finish.
A lot more action tomorrow right here on the Pac-12 Network. A quadruple header beginning out in Boulder with Colorado, Washington State. You got Utah, Washington, Cal, Arizona State. But that's the big one tomorrow afternoon. Stanford against number 4 Arizona. The Wildcats look to continue their impressive season. And of course, on the call tomorrow on the farm, our good friends Ted Robinson and Father Time, apparently, Bill Walton will be on the call tomorrow. And then apparently he'll be going over to Berkeley to celebrate the new year tomorrow night.
Not Berkeley, really? That's where he's going.
That's what I've been told.
I think I may join him over. That should be a fun celebration.
I can't imagine how crazy of an experience it would be to celebrate a new year with Bill Walton. That would be a story. Meanwhile, Jordan Pope having a great performance to end his 2023. 19 points for Oregon State.
I'll never forget with Bill and I, we were put on a clinic over at the Canida Resort, which is an Indian reservation over in Eastern Oregon. And I just remember him and I playing wiffle ball against each other in the gym, batting against each other, and eat some of that good fried bread over there. That was a long time ago.
Who was the better wiffle ball player?
I am, of course. Bill's too tall to score the ball. Come on, what are you thinking?
I wish there was video evidence of this. I couldn't tell whether it was a pass or a shot from Bronny James, but another bucket.
Come on, Ben, what are you thinking? Ridiculous. That's my imitation of Bill Walton.
I was going to say, it was actually pretty good.
Thank you.
I'll give you credit on that. James now up to 9 points for USC tonight. We're now at that 14-minute mark for Bronny James. The tie.
That's got to be an inside out. See, you can't go inside and keep the ball in there without having the action immediately. The inside is just to draw the defense in, back outside again, and now you can go back in there again and go score. But if you're going to catch it down there and play around with it for 3, 4, 5 seconds, it's going to be difficult to get any action out of it.
Six minutes to play. USC needs to desperately make a run, and Boogie Ellis looking to start it.
They need to get in attack mode more with their pressing, try and create some skills. The problem is, though, you've got some pretty skilled guards on the other side of the floor there that can break you down and go score off of that press break.
Meanwhile, Oregon State slowing it up.
I think they keep playing right now. I think it's still too early to slow because you might play in their hands. A couple of turnovers, a couple of threes by them, and the momentum swings again. Keep playing, keep hooping.
I mean, that's going to be hard to defend at 6'9". You got that fall away. Bilodeau, that was smooth.
He's a wonderful player that has a wonderful game. And he just needs to get stronger and learn a few more things, but he's got a chance.
But again, we know Boogie can get hot from downtown. Cuts it to a 69-54 ball game. Timeout. And by the way, a career high now for Tyler Bilodeau with those 21 points. 7-11 from the floor.
Skill set, the ability to catch and finish. The ability to shoot it from the perimeter, shoot it inside. He can put it down and put it on the floor a little bit as a big. He can see the play and make the play. He has a feel for the game, good basketball IQ, and he's a competitor. He loves to battle, loves to play the game, and you do all that in a 6'9" body, you have a chance, a really good chance. And the fact that he's coming from such an athletic family, too. All of those things play into making yourself into the complete player and becoming a great player. And he's well on his way to getting there.
Yeah, Wayne Tinkle specifically loves his physicality and his toughness, but I mean, obviously he has a lot more to offer on the floor.
I remember seeing him last year and doing a game over here, and I said it during the game, but he is going to be a nice player, because then he was knocking down threes in the deep corner and shooting the ball extremely well out there on the wing. And now they kind of have him more on the block, but you're talking about a guy with the ability to go inside, outside, and be able to look natural doing it. That tells you something about his game.
Again, a couple of solid performances for Oregon State as we approach 5 minutes to play.
It's important for Oregon State to keep playing. What I mean by that, keep attacking. Attack the zone, make the extra pass and everything else, but stay in attack mode and not just milk clock mode.
Akano trying to give it to Ratai.
Which is the wrong place to go. That ball should have been out on the perimeter again, because you can remember, you want to go inside by the pass or by the dribble. So he did the job of getting there on the dribble. He had a wide open player on the perimeter that he missed, and certainly could have found him sitting out there.
On the timer, Pope has got to hoist it up. Fall away three. And a shot clock violation.
And that really wasn't his fault. That was the decision making from the possession before, to put him in the short shot clock.
Boogie Ellis with 18 points for USC. Bronny James Jr. from deep knocks it down.
Got to shoot it. Can't be playing with it. Got to take some chances. Shoot the ball, gamble a little bit. That's why Oregon State has to keep attacking.
It's down to a 12-point game. You know, like you said, you want Oregon State to keep attacking. They continue to use that clock.
Okay, it's okay to use the clock if you get a foul or you get a bucket out of it in the late clock. Then it works well.
Open shot.
That's the bucket in the late clock. But if you work the clock and you're missing the shot or turning over at the end of the shot clock, and that team runs down and fires a three up, then it goes back the other way.
Johnson down low to Morgan. Morgan draws the foul.
It's a good foul. You know, Bilodeau, great hands, skilled, high basketball IQ. Look how naturally smooth he looks when he catches the ball in the middle. And just to catch, no hesitation, turn around, nothing but net.
A trio of Beavers leading the way tonight with a 71-57 lead here in the second. 19 for Pope, 12 for Dexter Akano, but the career-high 23 points for Tyler Bilodeau, coming off that double-double against UCLA, but obviously a much bigger performance than what we saw on Thursday against the Bruins.
No question about it. I think, again, when a team gets their confidence and you can go through some adversity, and I think they felt like they let a game get away. And now they're back in this building. The energy's back. Got a few more fans here. They're back from the football bowl game. And you know, Oregon State has played extremely well. I mean, extremely well. And they really justify their record right now. People are talking about, well, their schedule wasn't as strong. They were undefeated at home. They were weak. No, they did the right thing. They got a team. They got together. They got some guys to understand some things. Got into a nice rhythm. Now the conference is here, and they're into rhythm.
How about Bronny James? He's coming out party with 15.
He needs to shoot the ball more. That's all I'm saying. He needs to take some of those, make some of those plays and handle the ball more and get off shots, because he's an excellent player. He's a shooter. He has tremendous feel. And I like the fact, again, there aren't a lot of guys at this level that understand how to play at both ends of the floor. They can see and make the play on offense. He also can see and make the play on defense. And that's the thing I really like about his game.
And that's what Andy Enfield has emphasized about Bronny James. He says he's a terrific shooter. And we've seen it so far. 2 of 4 from downtown tonight to make it a 10-point game. Here comes the press by USC.
Does Bronny had him on the rotation, had that taken away? I don't know. Can't bail a guy out 90 feet from the bucket with a cheap foul and tough call. Here it is. Here. See the trap. They come down, do a good job. They got him in the double team. They're there. They're there. They're there. They're there. He fouled him. You can't ride underneath a guy with your knee, and you know it's really amazing. You turn around and look at stuff on replay. Usually officials do a pretty good job of getting calls right. Which brings me to my saying: every coach ought to officiate. Every parent ought to coach.
They'll keep it with Oregon State. And Bronny not happy with that call.
I mean, they're right there. A couple more stops, a couple more threes. It puts a whole different complexity on this game and puts a lot more pressure on Oregon State again, being the home team, already losing one opening conference game.
Well, they've been feeling it offensively, USC. They've made their last 5 shots, so they've got it going. Under 3.5 to play. Got to get some stops.
Got to defend without fouling. And
yeah, like you said, got to do it without fouling. And they'll go to the monitor.
They're going to review this because something happened on this play between Morgan and Mbekwe. And you got the officials sitting right on top of it. I mean, it's a foul. I don't know where they're looking at a replay.
Possible hook and hold, maybe.
Definitely hooked underneath with the arm, but does it come more than anything but a foul? Common foul.
So again, the officials will go take a look at this on our Whole Foods Market official review. So you didn't see anything more than just a common foul.
Well, there was a hook there, but you see a lot of hooking going on all night. They saw the play, they saw the hook, the push underneath. He made the right call on the foul. I'll be interested to see what they're looking for right now. No contact above the head or above the neck or anything like that, but definitely a hook and hold. And I think one of the things they look for in that hook was there an extra grab or jerk that could have created an injury possibly, but it certainly looked like that when the whistle blew. It almost like he let go of the hole to make it not look like it was me that was doing it. So I don't see him making anything more than a common foul on this.
And it will be a common foul. And that'll be it for Joshua Morgan tonight. Look to have a carryover performance after finishing with 14 in the loss to Oregon, but only 7 tonight.
Well, and he's a player that, being a senior and everything, he's been around it enough, and people are counting on him to step up and have a significant impact on this team. He has the ability to do that. It's just the consistency of it, and they certainly need him on the floor here going down the last 3-minute stretch of this game. Now, again, though, they may have fouled the right guy because Mbekwe has struggled with his free throws, and you get them missing 2, they end up being a good foul in this situation. Outside the fact you lose Morgan.
Right. Now 2 for 6 from the foul line. Casey Mbekwe. But yeah, I mean, with Morgan, you lose a solid defensive presence. Like I mentioned before, first in the Pac-12, 11th nationally in blocks per game.
Yes. How about Mbekwe?
Some solid free throws there.
There you go.
Good bounce back again after starting 1 for 5 from the charity stripe.
If I'm Bronny James, I try to take the game over because his ability to shoot the ball is pretty impressive.
Trying to drive inside, faces the double team behind the back, and a kick ball. And 15 points, 6 of 9 from the floor, 2 of Ornery off the inbound.
Got to finish that. And that's a point-blank layup that, again, USC has got to score every time down the floor this time to have a chance to pull this game out. They can't have easy misses like that, because now you do milk the clock. You do shorten down the game possession by possession, and it doesn't hurt you with under 2.5 minutes to go to run that clock if you're Oregon State with the kind of lead they have right now.
O'Connell finds a wide open lane to the cup. James in transition.
This is where guards that understand the game are huge here, just to understand how to use clock, take the time down, and Pope did it the last time, made a great pass to O'Connell, and he did a great job with a great head fake. And it's nice to have guards, and I don't care at any level, you've got to have guard play to be successful.
But Beckway climbing the ladder to get that board. Pope for three.
I don't know if we would have shot that. Again, use that clock to your favor.
Well, that's what Wayne Tinkle was telling Dexter O'Connell.
Yes.
Reset.
Yeah, reset the clock, and obviously
O'Connell with a possible exclamation point and one.
You know, it was just a one-on-one hard drive, and the foul became because the defender was standing outside the three-point arc to take the charge, and that's where the foul was called.
And a timeout called by Andy Enfield. Again, Dexter O'Connell has been absolutely balling now the last 4 games.
Oregon State, again, you're talking about a team that plays hard. They're well coached. I've been very impressed. They sat in that matchup zone the whole second half, and USC has really struggled to figure it out. And they've done a good job of keeping the shooters at bay and limiting the USC to just one shot. But defensively, they've been really good. I mean, offensively, they've been off the charts in this game. They're shooting, 58% from the field, 72 from the free throw line, and 47 from three-pointers. But Bilodeau has played well inside. He's controlled things in the paint with his game, with his ability to knock down layups, finish at the rim and everything. And then you got those great guards who know how to get them the ball. So as a big, we talked about the difference in the game might be what happens inside. And he has certainly been the most dominant big on the floor and has made the difference in the game with his ability to score. The guards have kind of neutralized, even though Pope has had a great game. Count on that, but the difference in this game has definitely been Tyler Bilodeau and his ability to score. 23 points on 8 of 13 field goals, 5 rebounds. He's outplayed USC's bigs. And some of USC's bigs are seniors that are sitting there as well, too. So hats off to Tyler, because he had that monster game that I think has really helped Oregon State separate itself in this ball game.
Well, the big thing, too, and Wayne Tinkle has harped on this, too, they don't play well when the ball sticks, but they've really been sharing the rock. Ornery with the jam.
No, they're a team that definitely needs to have ball movement, because they got so many skilled players, so many good shooters. Looks like we got a
technical
foul. Announcer just.
Yep, Andy Enfield called for the tee.
Okay, my fault.
Casey Beckway takes a seat.
Well, Wayne Tinkle went deeper into his bench, and he has some film now to look and teach, and that's one of the things I think he wanted to get accomplished. He talked about wanting to go deeper in the bench because you have an opportunity for guys to see and get a feel for it. But at the same time, the key players in this game have been outstanding. How about that play?
And another and one, this time for Tyler Bilodeau.
Great read by Pope. Takes out our replay board over here. And a tremendous finish by Tyler Bigelow. How about his game? The game he's played.
He has been absolutely fantastic with 25 points. And Jordan Pope will check out and get a huge ovation from the Gill crowd. Kobe Johnson for three.
I like this team so much better when Bronny James handles the ball, because his decision making is so good. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's a good shooter.
And timeout call by Wayne Tinkle. Yeah, again, Bronny James with those 15 points. 6 of 10 from the floor. And yeah, like you mentioned, with a team like USC who still has a lot of question marks, you look at Bronny James and maybe he can provide a spark as the season continues.
Well, I think they need to put the ball in his hands more and maybe play off the ball a little bit more with Poyer and a little bit more with Ellis, because his decision making is really good and his passing is really good. He doesn't turn it over as much, and he's a deadly three-point shooter, tremendous athlete, and he has tremendous feel for the game. Thing that's hurting USC that I've seen so far in this game, they need more productivity out of their bigs. A guy like Morgan needs to be more consistent. And then the second piece is they need to take care of the basketball. I mean, when you look at their turnovers in all of their games up until this point, that's way too many turnovers for a team at this level and with the expectations they have of themselves. So they've got to fix that piece. And as a coach, that's difficult to do, because that might require a personnel change to fix that piece in terms of who handles the ball, who gets shots, and those types of things. Because this is very unusual for a team to turn the ball over this much.
And again, a season high 20 turnovers for USC. Another timeout call by Oregon State. And yeah, you nailed it with USC. I mean, Danny Infield has said we can't be a good team without our front line playing well. As you look at the upcoming schedule, first for Oregon State, their first true road game, by the way, on Thursday at Washington State. You and I will be in Pullman for that one.
Black Cypress chicken, here we come.
Oh my goodness. And then obviously they'll make the trip over across the state to Washington, and then they're right back here at Gill Coliseum to take on Stanford, and then right back on the road again against Utah and Colorado.
It's going to tell them a lot about their team, taking out on the road and playing at Washington State. A tough place to play. At UW, another tough place to play. So, you know, this has been great to get this split here at home. You wanted to get them both, because, you know, it's so hard to lose at home, and now you got to pick that game up somewhere on the road somewhere. But to get to where they need to get to be successful, they're going to have to win on the road and do some things. So I'll be anxious to see how they play, going away from Gill, away from this crowd, against a team that really plays a ball control offense in Washington State. They don't turn it over as much. They play good defense. They're a good shooting team as well. It's going to be a nice matchup between those two teams.
Yeah, and obviously providing Washington State one of the best stories in college basketball this year with Miles Rice and in his return after beating Hodgkin's lymphoma.
And I believe they're undefeated at home too as well, I think. I don't know if they've lost a game at home yet.
I believe they are. I'll have to double check that. But I know, obviously, we saw 2 nights ago Oregon State losing their first home game of the season against UCLA.
Correct.
Almost stolen away by Kobe Johnson. Up ahead, Ratai to the rack. As we wind down this game, Boogie Ellis over Bilodeau. And Ornery cleans it up.
Pass the ball. I'll never understand why late in the game like that, when if it's early in the game, you see the play and make the play. If it's late in the game, I understand why guys hang on to the ball and let themselves, hey, foul me, I got the ball. And just make that one pass out of the double team. You got numbers at the other end of the floor.
So Akano right back to the foul line, and I mean, you can see it in the look of Andy Enfield right now. Like I said, just so many questions regarding this USC team with so many expectations coming into this season. I mean, where do they go from here? How do they turn it around?
Well, they have no choice. You got so many more games to play.
Right.
You got to keep coaching, teaching, and all those things. And players got to be susceptible to learning and doing some things differently, because they've got some tough games coming up. This conference is no joke again. It's going to be very competitive, and night in, night out, you've got to get better. You've got to be able to look at tape and see what you're doing wrong and what you're right, and be willing to correct things.
Put back by Boogie Ellis. Shot clock turned off, and Oregon State will dribble this one out. A convincing win for Wayne Tinkle's crew to get their first Pac-12 win of the season in the infancy of the Pac-12 slate. 86-70 the final here at Gill Coliseum. And again, the hot shooting again from Oregon State. 60% from the floor, 47% from three-point land.
You know, for a team that has struggled to shoot the ball from the three last year and this year, they figured some things out. And watching them play, to me, it's shots, balance, getting on balance, and the right guys shooting it. The right guys that create shots for themselves and make tough shots. They were impressive, and I believe with Bilodeau and what he did in the inside, it sure makes the game a lot easier offensively for them.
Yeah, the career high 26 points for Tyler Bilodeau, as that will do it here from Corvallis for Ernie Kent and the rest of our always terrific Pac-12 Network crew. I'm Ben Creighton saying so long from Gill Coliseum, where the Beavers get the 86-70 win over USC. Happy New Year, everyone.